In today's video, I got the platinum for Job Simulator. Before we get into it, I'd like to mention Job Simulator is a 1 out of 10 difficulty and takes on average 4 hours to complete, and it also has 12 trophies. For those of you who don't know what Job Simulator is, it's a game where you just do free labor. If you didn't want a job in real life, you could just hop on VR and do it for completely free, aka the small price of $550. So starting off the game, we spawned in this weird room, and there was a bunch of job options I was able to choose from. The options included store clerk, gourmet chef, mechanic, and office worker. Before we get into any of those, I actually got a trophy for grabbing a statue and throwing it at the bot. Then we went into the first job, which is my personal favorite, which is the store clerk. All you do in this job is just sit behind a counter and customers run up and you just scan the crap for them, do what they want, and they leave. You can also completely rob the customers and just take stuff off of them and just sell it back to them. One of the customers wanted me to scratch a lottery ticket for him, so I decided to do it. And once I found out you can scratch the lottery tickets, I just kept doing it, and I actually got a trophy for winning one of them. And I accidentally pressed the button where it showed my setup, so for anyone who wanted a sneak peek, here you go. And then I almost sold a bunch of fireworks to a bunch of little kids. And then while I was just chilling, minding my own business, we ended up getting sponsored by an energy drink brand. And then I ended up helping the cops with something, and it gave me a trophy for completing the store clerk. And then we moved on to gourmet chef, where we just became Gordon Ramsay for an hour. And then I went to the trophy list and saw a trophy for making soup with soup inside of it. What the fuck? So I quickly speed ran to make the soup, and then I just kind of threw the can inside of the pot, and once it was done, it actually gave me the trophy. After I did that, I ended up making soup, apple, and lemon soup. Anyways, for the first meal we had to make, it was just eggs and bacon. I don't know how, but they actually ended up setting on fire, and I burnt the crap out of the bacon. So once you're done with an order, you just want to place all the food on the plate and just ring the bell, and it'll automatically send it for you. And then once you complete an order and you want to start the next one, you just want to grab this paper and then kind of just throw it at the boss, because why not? For one of the orders, the customer wanted me to make soup, so I made him my own pepper, chili powder, and every spice soup. And then I sent it straight off to him. For the next order, we had to make somebody a sandwich, so I ended up making a complete masterpiece, and I still have no clue how they're gonna eat it. And then for the next one, this guy was getting married, so I had to play romantic tunes, and this is actually what I play when it's just me and your mom in the room. And then right after I said that, I proceeded to struggle for 10 seconds trying to start the CD player. Oh my god! And then the health inspector came by, and I had to hide literally a bunch of bugs that were on the counter. And then for the next thing, this camera crew came in, they recorded a reality TV show, and I ended up just making a bunch of random crap with it. Right after this, I ended up making a protein cookie, and I had to eat it in front of the camera, and my character's probably gonna die now. After this, Gordon Ramsay came in and he started yelling at me to make random recipes to give to the customers. After we were done with the Gordon Ramsay part, I got a trophy for doing the gourmet chef job. And then we went into the worst, the most painful job out of all of them, auto mechanic. And the way you start this one, you just want to pull on this chain until the garage door opens. I opened up the hood of his car to see what was wrong with it, and the battery running the car was a potato. I quickly ended up swapping it out and it fixed it. This car didn't really have a lot wrong with it, except for some of the headlights were broken, so I just swapped it out. And then I opened up the glove box of the car and I got a trophy for grabbing the hidden hand. And then this one guy came in with a car that was more rusty than Mater himself. And then this taxi came in for checkup, and there was all kinds of stuff wrong with it, like the exhaust was leaking this green gas. I ended up plugging the exhaust with a banana, and the car is probably gonna explode because it's all just going into the car now. Anyways, after I probably messed up his car even more, I ended up charging him $1,700 for the bill. And then another car came in, and I ended up hooking him up with 4 donut wheels, and I'm not gonna lie, it looked pretty sick. For this next one, I ended up helping a thief that stole somebody's car, and I changed the license plate and the color of the car. And then for this next one, I had to customize a sign for a sponsor, and I tried to write FU on it, but it didn't work. I love not acting my age, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
This car just had everything wrong with it, so I had to fix everything about it, and I'm not gonna lie, it sucked. And then there was this race going on, and the sports car drove into the shop, and he actually ended up hitting a tree, so I had to remove all the branches from the car. Literally the only thing I did on the next car was shove an air horn in the exhaust pipe. And then this lemon car pulled up, and everything inside of it was made of lemons, and I had to fix literally every part on the car. And then the last car was kind of like a sandbox where I just got to do whatever I wanted, and I honestly had a lot of fun with this one because I just completely broke it. And once I finished this car and sent it on its way, I got a trophy for completing the auto mechanic. I forgot to mention, but you also go back to the other room by eating a burrito. And then I found out there's this thing called infinite overtime, which I think just has the game run endlessly. Jumping into our next job, we did the office worker, and this one is honestly just as bad as the mechanic. It's just really slow and boring. To start off the office job, you eat a donut and you get a coffee. This is the most American thing ever.
That's what I'm saying.
I then got promoted to the boss, so I ended up hiring a bunch of new employees, even some of the bad ones, because everyone deserves a second chance. And then I had to make up a bunch of fake stocks for the company because they're currently doing worse than FaZe Clan. We gave the copy of the stocks to the boss and he ended up giving us another promotion. And then I found this copying machine and I messed around with that for literally 5 minutes. And then he ended up giving us money to get a snack from the vending machine. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of lit.
That's what I'm saying.
And then all the coworkers in the store started throwing money at me so I could also get them something to eat. And then I got told to check my email because they sent me a bunch of memes and all of them were trash. And then for the next thing, I had to make my own presentation for the company, and I ended up adding some super cool effects, and I also kind of lied about the stocks at the end of this as well. And then when I was showing them the presentation, they actually really liked it, and I ended up getting another promotion for it. And then after that, one of the bots were retiring next week, so I had to write them a thank you card, and I wrote them this really weird message, and I thought it was honestly hilarious. And then this one I did feel really bad for, but all the employees I just hired, I ended up having to fire within the same day because the company was doing that bad. I didn't even think twice about firing this guy because his attitude was mustached. Then I fired this other guy for being southern. For this next job, I had to get water and talk to all the employees about how the stocks of the company are going completely down. And then for this next job, I had to shred a bunch of stuff at my desk because it was running up the company's insurance. And then I ended up shredding this doll and it gave me a trophy for doing so. And then for the last job of the office worker, I gotta eat a cake and celebrate with the coworkers for becoming the boss. And since I was the boss, I flipped a lever that had everyone go home and I ended up getting a trophy for doing so. And then for this next trophy, you actually had to pull through the entire credits inside the suitcase. After about a minute of just grabbing the postcards and throwing them away, I finally ended up getting it. And then for the last 2 trophies, all I had to do was grab the genie cartridge, then grab a random job and just go into the level and it would give me both of the trophies. Right when I pulled the lever, it gave me the trophy for having the job bonus and then it gave me the platinum. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I do have a lot more VR content coming out soon. See ya.